At some point or another, every single person on this planet has been asked the question, where do you see yourself within 5 years? And that question today is the premise of today's video, because we're going to be looking at every single member of the WWE roster that is active today, and we're going to look at their chances of becoming a WWE World Champion within the next 5 years. We're going to be looking at both the men and the women in the WWE. We're also still going to look at people that have already won WWE championships, except we're just going to look at how likely they are to win another World Championship within 5 years. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know that you're going to fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. All right, let's jump into it. By the way, apologies if I end up sounding terrible. I'm still sick. All right, folks, let's look at the different tiers that we have. We have no chance in hell. These are people that I just don't think can develop into main eventers that could threaten for a world title realistically within the next 5 years. Then we have probably not. These are individuals that maybe have a chance of developing to the point where they're winning world championships, but the likelihood that they do, honestly, is very, very low. Then we have I could see it. These are people that are either already in a position to win world championships or are in a position where they could easily grow into the point to become a world champion within the next 5 years. And then we have Bet the House. These are people that undoubtedly, without a single shadow of a doubt, will become world champions. Let's start off with AJ Styles, who has been battling off the he's washed rumors, and I hope that he's completely quashed those because he has been fantastic as of late. He was so good in that matchup against Cody Rhodes in Backlash. I think he's at the point in his career where if he doesn't win a world championship, it's not necessarily the most surprising thing in the world. However, if he does win a world championship, it's also not the most surprising thing in the world. So I'm going to put him in the I could see it category, but I don't want to put him in Bet the House. Akam at this point is a career tag team guy. He was a tag team guy in NXT. He's going to be a tag team guy in the main roster. It's going to be like that forever. No chance in hell. Tozawa, even if he goes off on his own, I don't see him developing within the next 5 years to the point where he's beating everyone for world titles. I just don't think that that's going to be the case. No chance in hell. Alba Fire could. She's a fantastic Simcoe superstar when she's given the opportunity, but she hasn't even gotten off the ground running as a tag team member in the WWE main roster, so the chances are probably not. Alexa Bliss, really, it's all about what kind of Alexa Bliss comes back. Are we going to get an Alexa Bliss that's out for gold and out to become a next world champion again? Or are we getting an Alexa Bliss that's a manager for this spooky group with Uncle Howdy? I don't know. Still, I could see it whenever she decides to come back. Andrade has all the skill in the world to become a world champion. 5 years is a long time. I do think that he can develop to be the face of Latino wrestling if the WWE truly gets behind Andrade here. I could see it. Angel Garza can be fantastic, but I think at this point it's just way too narrow of a time period, 5 years, for him to continue through this tag team, become a member of Legado del Fantasma, leave Legado del Fantasma, and become a single superstar where he can become a world champion. I think that's going to take more than 5 years. Maybe he'll never do it, but I'm gonna say no chance in hell, at the very least within 5 years. Dawkins also needs to leave the tag team situation that he's in, and I just don't see it happening. However, if he does leave the tag team situation that he's in, then maybe he could develop quickly into a main event star, but I'm gonna say probably not. I would be surprised if Apollo Crews is still in the WWE. No chance in hell. Same with Ashante the Adonis. No chance in hell. Asuka is interesting because she could win world championships. She could not win world championships, but I do feel like at this point in her age that the women's roster around her has flourished so quickly. There are so many people that are viable world champions that the WWE doesn't just have to by default rely on Asuka like they have so many times. I could see a potential world where Asuka finishes off the rest of her career as a tag team or as somebody that just is there to elevate the younger generation of WWE superstars. I'm actually going to give you a bit of a shocker. I don't think so. I'm going to say probably not. Austin Theory's still really young. However, he already has enough of a career that has been tainted with really poor booking, where I do see it being a bit difficult within 5 years for him to shed all of that and rebuild himself as a main event caliber guy. I do think at some point he wins a world championship, but 5 years might be cutting it might be cutting it a little too thin. I still could see it, but it's a tight window. B-Fab, with her being a manager, I just think it's no chance in hell. Baron Corbin, I think, is going to be relegated to making other people look good and putting other people over for the rest of his career. He's fantastic, but I just don't see him vying for world championships on the main roster anytime soon. I'm going to say no chance in hell. Bayley is going to win another world championship within 5 years. I'm confident of that. Bet the house. Same with Becky Lynch. The only thing that would prevent her from actually winning another world championship is if she were to leave the WWE altogether, which she might. She hasn't re-signed as of the making of this video. I'm going to say bet the house, though. Berto, similar to Angel, I don't think within 5 years it's a realistic timeline. Maybe beyond 10, 15 years. But for now, no chance in hell. Bianca Belair, if this is the easiest one, for sure she's going to win multiple world championships within the next 5 years. Bet the house. Big E is a tragic one because I just don't even see him coming back to the WWE. And if he were to come back to the WWE, would TKO really put their biggest prize on somebody that has this bad of an injury? This is somebody that could at any moment be out again if they were to land the wrong way? I'm going to say no chance in hell. Blair Davenport is going to win world championships. I think the question is 5 years too quick? And I don't think so. I'm going to say bet the house. Bobby Lashley could go the rest of his career winning, could go the rest of his career not winning. I think he's in the same boat really as AJ Styles, where he doesn't need world championship. He's already cemented himself as somebody with a legacy that will be remembered until the end of time. I could see it though. Braun Strowman, on the other hand, I feel like has already reached the ceiling of his career really, really early on. I don't see him vying for world championships anytime soon. I'm going to say probably not. Brock Lesnar is a enigma, really, because if he comes back, chances are they're going to put a world title on him. But the question is he going to come back? Is he eligible to come back? Would he even want to come back? If he were to come back, would TKO really put their biggest prize on somebody that has this much of a tainted spotlight on them? I'm going to say probably not. Braun Breaker is guaranteed. Bet the house. Bronson Reed is interesting. The way that they've been booking him, I could see a world where he could be a Damian Priest type champion. Not necessarily the face of the WWE, but somebody that could be maybe a transitional heel champion on Monday Night Raw. I'm going to say I could see it. Brutus Creed, I could see it if we were talking 10, 15 years, but I just don't think that he's as well developed as his brother Julius Creed, who I think is quite a few years ahead in terms of his development. I'm going to say for Brutus, probably not. Candice LeRae could be a world champion if they actually gave her the opportunity, but I just don't see them actually allowing her to flourish as a single superstar to the point where she's winning world championships within the next 5 years. I'm going to say probably not. Carlito, I just don't see this as any way, shape, or form in the plans the WWE has for Carlito within the next 5 years. I'm going to say no chance in hell. Carmella, we'll see if she comes back to even being an in-ring performer, but if she does come back to being an in-ring performer, the women's division has just flourished so much since she's been gone that I just don't see her climbing up the mountain to winning a world championship. I'm going to say no chance in hell. Cedric Alexander needs to worry about getting on TV, not winning world championships. No chance in hell. We love Chad Gable around these parts, but I don't know that the WWE loves him as much as we all do. He's amazing on the microphone. He's an amazing in-ring wrestler, but if they barely want to put the IC title on him, I think that they're not going to put the world championship on him anytime soon. Probably not. Carmelo Hayes is a guaranteed lock-in, but I would definitely put some money on this. I would bet the house.
Oh!
Whoa! 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 Look at this.
See?
Yo!
And that's dead weight. Oh, I forgot about this.
Oh, that was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, which is available exclusively on Patreon. Over on the Patreon, not only will you get the newest episode of Wrestling is Cool 3 days earlier than everyone else, but you're going to get the Raw review, SmackDown review, NXT review, and you're also going to get 5 weekly episodes of the Wrestling is Cool Match Club, which is a series where people on Patreon vote on which matches we watch and commentate on. This week, we're looking at Drew McIntyre versus Will Ospreay from WCPW, Triple H versus The Rock in a ladder match in SummerSlam 1998. We're looking at Zila and Jacob Fatu taking on Bang and Matthews in GCW. We're also looking at Cesaro versus Sami Zayn all the way back in NXT in 2013, and Rey Mysterio versus Prince Puma, aka Ricochet, in Lucha Underground. You can find all this over on patreon.com/SantiZap. You'll find it in the top link in the description or the link in the pinned comment. Over 2,000 of you are already supporting on Patreon, so thank you so much for this crazy stretch. We really appreciate your support, and back to the video. When it comes to Charlotte, there's 3 things in this world that are guaranteed: death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair winning a world championship whenever she comes back from injury. She's winning another world championship. Come on, bet the house. Chelsea Green could be interesting, but I do think that they need to book it the right way. I think that a Money in the Bank would be the best way to do it. I could see it. CM Punk is winning a world championship. It's going to be the World Heavyweight Championship. He's going to help elevate this thing. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes into WrestleMania as a champion or he wins the championship at WrestleMania. I'm going to say bet the house. Cody Rhodes, if he were to lose the world championship right now, he'd win it again probably within the next year. Bet the house. Cruz del Toro is going to be a career just guy, just that he's a member of the LWO. I think that he's going to be a career NPC fodder. No chance in hell. Dakota Kai is interesting because I really believe that she's been flourishing over the last few months as the mouthpiece of Damage Control, and she's been really showing out in the ring. I think that she's demonstrating to the world that she can be somebody that could carry gold. I'm going to say that I could see it. Damian Priest, if they were able to give him one, I wouldn't be surprised if they give him two. So bet the house. Dexter Lumis, I would say no chance in hell. A lot of people saying no chance in hell on Dijak because he's so old going into the main roster, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna point out a couple things, all right? First of all, he is actually younger than the age that Damian Priest was when he came into the main roster, and Damian Priest went on to become a world champion. On top of that, in my opinion at least, if you compare Damian Priest to when he joined the main roster and Dijak when Dijak has joined the main roster, Dijak is leaps and bounds ahead in terms of character work and in-ring work to where Damian Priest was when he was first called up. So if they did it with Damian Priest, I don't think it's a no for Dijak. I'm gonna say I could see it. Dirty Dom, the greatest human to ever live. He's never done anything wrong. He is a hero to everyone on this planet. Bet the house. I don't need to give you my reasons, okay? Dragon Lee, I don't see it happening. I'm gonna say probably not. Drew McIntyre is one of the sharks surrounding the World Heavyweight Championship, and I think he's going to be doing that for a really, really long time. On top of that, he just re-signed with the WWE. They're going to put a world title on him, especially considering this is the hottest run of his career. Bet the house. Elektra Lopez, it all depends on whether or not she's going to get out from being a manager, but I don't see that being the case, so I'm going to say no chance in hell. Elton is not going to leave being a tag team. He's a tag team guy for life. No chance in hell. Eric, I also think is going to be a tag team guy until the end of time. No chance in hell. Finn Balor, this one just hurts because if they haven't done it since he won the Universal Championship all the way back in 2017, we're running on nearly 8 years since Finn Balor last won a World Championship. I don't see it happening within 5 years at this point. If they didn't do it last summer when he was so close and it made the most sense for him to finally win, I don't see them doing it. But probably not. I'm sorry. I would be surprised if Gio Vinci is anywhere near the main title picture. I'm going to say no chance in hell. Grayson Waller, unlike Austin Theory, has no baggage of poor booking. I actually really like this choice as a potential world champion. I'm actually going to say bet the house. This might be a bit of a stretch. Gunther is for sure winning a world championship. Wouldn't be surprised if he wins one this year. Bet the house. Indy Hartwell, I do think with the right booking, 5 years is enough time to develop her to being a women's world champion. And her being under the tutelage of somebody as experienced as Candice LeRae, I also think is a good thing. I'm going to say I could see it. Ilya Dragunov is winning a world championship within the next 5 years. He's already main eventing Raw within 2 days of him being called up from NXT. Bet the house. Ivar, I don't see it, especially with the recent surgery he just had. I'm going to say no chance in hell, sadly. Ivy Nile, if they develop her properly within the next 5 years, 5 years is a long time, but she's got that body type to be really unique as a champion. I could see it. Io Sky is going to be winning multiple world championships within the next 5 years. I would bet the house. Jacob Fatu is interesting because we haven't seen him at all as of the making of this video in the WWE. We know he's signed to the WWE, but just simply him being a Bloodline member almost by default puts him in the I could see it category because they've elevated people from the Bloodline, like obviously Roman Reigns, but then Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa to be main eventers. And maybe they do the same thing with Jacob Fatu. Jade Cargill is a foregone conclusion. She is winning a world championship, multiple world championships whenever she's ready to go off as a single star. Bet the house. JD McDonough is most likely never going to happen, but he's such a good worker that I can't put him in no chance in hell. Probably not, though. Jey Uso, I think, is a foregone conclusion. I think they're going to be putting a title on him at some point this summer. He's the top babyface on Monday Night Raw, #1 overall pick. This is who they're putting their eggs behind. I'm putting him in Bet the House. Jimmy Uso, on the other hand, I don't see any indication that he's going to be chasing singles glory within the next 5 years. I'm going to say probably not. Joaquin Wilde is an easy no chance in hell. Johnny Gargano, it all depends on whether the WWE actually wants to get behind a Daniel Bryan-like babyface run for somebody like him. It all depends. And do I see it happening within the next 5 years? Look, if it hasn't happened yet, I don't see it happening. I'm actually going to say probably not. Julius Creed has all the talent in the world. It's just a matter of whether the WWE can develop him enough within the next 5 years to be a main event caliber talent. And this might be a stretch, but my answer is yes, I do think so. I'm going to say bet the house. Kairi Sane is probably going to always be a tag team person on the main roster. They haven't really given her a chance ever to be a single star in the main roster, so I'm going to say probably not. Carl Anderson is an easy no chance in hell. Karrion Kross, maybe a couple years ago, would have been in the guaranteed, like, bet the house, but nowadays, like, he's just not the guy. He's not going to be winning world championships. He's going to be feuding with your mid-card guys. He might get a one-off opportunity for a world title, but he's not winning world gold. I'm going to say probably not. Katana Chance and Caden Carter, actually have them in the both in the I could see it category. If they were to break up and go off as single stars, they are both immensely talented, and if developed right within the next 5 years, it could happen. Look, a lot of people would have Kevin Owens and bet the house, but Kevin Owens hasn't won a world championship within the past 5 years. What makes you think he's gonna win one within the next 5? I don't think that it's gonna happen. I don't think that WWE is gonna give Kevin Owens this world championship run. I'm actually gonna say I could see it, though a lot of people are going to put him in the bet the house category. I'm not, though. I think Kiana James is a safe bet the house in terms of her development within the next 5 years. I think she's going to be winning world gold. Kit is no chance in hell. I also think he's going to be a career tag team guy. Kofi Kingston at this point in the twilight of his career is probably no chance in hell. He might get one last push where they are going to make you believe that he could relive Kofi Mania one more time, but I don't see it. I'm going to say no chance in hell. Wouldn't be surprised if Liv Morgan is a world champion within the next 2 weeks and wins it at King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. I'm going to say bet the house, considering like if her and Rhea Ripley, that's the feud. That's a Mania feud. And I wouldn't be surprised if Rhea Ripley comes back to a Liv Morgan world champion. LA Knight, I think, is a safe bet the house. I think that he is just way too over. And if he continues to be this over within the next couple of years, the WWE will have to do something with him. And I think that thing that they could do is put a world title on him. Logan Paul is for sure going to win a world title. It's bet the house. The man's already getting world title opportunities, but within the next 5 years, for sure. Ludwig Kaiser is one of the best up-and-coming heels, in my opinion. It's really just a matter of time of him winning a world championship, but my question is 5 years too soon? Because within the next 10 years, I for sure see him being a world champion. But 5, I don't know, but I could see it. Gallows, no chance in hell. Lyra Valkyrie is already in the main event scene, just like Ilya Dragunov. I'm going to say bet the house. Maxine Dupree, maybe she has some sort of miracle run, but I'm gonna say probably not. Michin Mia Yim, I'm also gonna have in the probably not category. Montez Ford is just all about leaving the Street Profits and going off on his own. If he does, he's so charismatic and so talented that I would bet the house, but right now, I can't go higher than I could see it. I think Naomi might win some world gold, while also at the same time, maybe just not winning anything. I think it could go either way. I'm gonna say I could see it. The Miz could become a world champion if everyone gets injured and there's literally no one aside from The Miz to give the world championship to. I'm still gonna put him in probably not. Nia Jax is a foregone conclusion. She's the top heel in the women's division right now. I'm gonna say bet the house. Odyssey Jones, who? Omos just needs to get on TV. I don't think he needs to be worrying about world titles right now, but if he does get on TV, he's a dangerous threat. I'm gonna put him in probably not because he can't seem to get on TV. Natalya's in the twilight of her career, and I think that she's better served elevating the next generation of WWE superstars, but maybe she gets one final swan song, so for that, I'll put her in probably not. Nikki Cross, maybe with Uncle Howdy, but I just don't see it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say no chance in hell. If they weren't able to make it happen with Otis when he was a Money in the Bank holder, they're not gonna make it happen with him within the next 5 years, probably ever. No chance in hell. Piper Niven has been getting built up dramatically over the last couple of weeks to the point that she is becoming a very legitimate threat within the women's division. Just look at that hell of a match that she had with Jade Cargill. I'm actually gonna say I could see it. Pete Dunne, if he serves well within the next couple years as a tag team and then separates, maybe has a fantastic feud with Tyler Bate, I could see a world where he could become a world champion. I could see it. R-Truth would be awesome if he became a world champion. It'd be a great way to end his career, but realistically, I see no chance in hell. Randy Orton is going to be knocking on the door of John Cena and Ric Flair for the 16th time, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does it within the year. Bet the house. Raquel Rodriguez is just so likable. She just needs to get healthy and get back in the ring, and when she does, she's gonna win gold. I'm certain of it. Bet the house. I think Rey Mysterio's championship winning years are behind him. I don't even think he's got 5 years left in his career, frankly. I'm gonna say no chance in hell. Razar is a career tag team guy. No chance in hell. Rhea Ripley is winning world gold the second she comes back out of injury. Bet the house. Ricochet is a really frustrating one to talk about because he's got all the in-ring skill. He's one of the best on the planet when it comes to in-ring skills, but there's just a low ceiling with him because of his promo skills and character work. So I'm actually gonna say probably not. Roman Reigns, come on, it's a foregone conclusion. If he doesn't retire, he's winning more world gold. Bet the house. Sami Zayn is interesting. I know he's not won any championship gold. To me, he is like the guy right now that's never won a world championship that's destined to win one. I'm actually gonna say bet the house within the 5 years. Santos Escobar has been a great heel. I just don't see him quite immediately getting to the world title picture, but I could see it if it were to happen. Scarlett, I think, is gonna be a career manager, no chance in hell. Seth Rollins for sure is gonna be winning more world gold. Again, the only thing that would prevent him is if he were to leave the WWE. I would say bet the house. Shayna Baszler is probably in the same boat as Natalya, where she's better served elevating the other women, the next generation of women in the WWE. I'm gonna say probably not, but maybe they do one last like super dominating run with her. Sheamus, just like Shayna Baszler, I just don't think that this is the thing that he should be doing at this point in his career. Within 5 years, he's gonna be 50, so I'm gonna say probably not. Shotzi is young enough where they could make it happen, but I gotta be honest, I don't see her going higher than probably not. Shinsuke Nakamura, if it didn't happen in the height of his popularity in 2017, it's not gonna happen now, probably not. Solo Sikoa is gonna happen, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens within the next 2 years. He's the next in line to carry the torch for the Samoan family. It's gonna be bet the house for Solo Sikoa. Sonya Deville, maybe, but probably not. Tegan Nox, I feel pretty comfortable in putting her in no chance in hell. The Rock is gonna win world championship gold. It was foreshadowed when he took Cody Rhodes' championship and said, oh, this looks nice. The Brahma Bull is winning more gold. Bet the house. Tiffany Stratton, wouldn't be surprised if she wins gold within the next 2 months. Bet the house. Just like Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa is just gonna need a magical run for it to happen, but I just don't see it happening, if I'm being honest with you, within the next 5 years. I'm gonna say probably not. Tama Tonga is very, very good in the ring, but we just haven't seen enough of him. So I'm kind of putting him in the same boat as Jacob Fatu, where, yeah, I guess I could see it because of his proximity to the main event scene, being part of the Samoan dynasty. So I'm gonna say I could see it. Tonga Loa, on the other hand, I've seen a lot of him in terms of footage of his not so great in-ring work. I'm actually gonna say probably not. Basically everything that I said for Pete Dunne, put it here for Tyler Bate. I'm gonna say I could see it. Valhalla, I don't see it happening within the next 5 years, no chance in hell. Xavier Woods, it'd be cool if he could close out his career with a WWE championship run so that every member of the New Day could call themselves a former WWE champion, but I don't see it happening ever. No chance in hell. Zelina Vega just needs to figure out where her foot is. Is it a foot as a manager or a foot as an in-ring performer? Figure it out. Right now, the way things are, I'm gonna say probably not. And Zoe Stark, I know she's in a bit of a lull in her career right now, but she's still young, and 5 years can be plenty of time, and she's already been in that main event scene. I think she's gonna be winning world gold. Bet the house. All right, folks, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm done. Get out of here.